Hey y'all, welcome back to Conditioner Chronicles. I'm about to get my booty behind in the shower, babes, but before I do, I figured we'd get into the juicy details about the conditioner that I'll be using for today, so that way I can come out of the shower and tell you guys exactly how I'm feeling. So today's conditioner of choice is the African Pride Feel It Formula Peppermint, Rosemary, and Sage Strengthening Mask. It claims to help promote hair growth and reduce breakage. And if I flip it around to the back, it also says that all of these infusions are targeted to make sure the hair is strengthened and hydrated from root to tip, okay? The instructions are to apply a generous amount to hair, leave on for 5 to 10 minutes, and then rinse with warm water. And of course, for best results, use a clear cap and sit under the dryer for 10 to 15 minutes. Now, for this entire series, I am going to be doing the same exact process wherein I let the conditioner sit in my hair for 10 to 20 minutes as I do each section. I will not be sitting under a plastic cap. However, I will be in a steamy and hot shower. And I love that this says to rinse out with warm water because the girl loves that. So we'll get into texture, consistency, and all of that stuff once I use it and can kind of show you how much I used. But I'm excited. So let's get into it. Hey y'all, your girl is fresh out the shower and it's time to get into my thoughts on this conditioner. Okay, so boom, I've got my notes here. Let's start out with the texture. So I'll put a little bit on my hand. I do have some left. And it is a very nice, bouncy, creamy consistency. And I would say that it's like mildly opaque, very nice and creamy. As far as the texture, it is light enough that in my case, I wound up using quite a lot. I personally feel like this is gonna be a double use type of deep conditioner for me, despite it being 12 ounces. Typically 12 ounces I can get 2 to 3 deep conditions with, but I feel like the balance of slip and glide and, you know, overall texture put it into that 2-use category. So next up, we'll talk scent. If you have used the Dr. Miracle's products, I think that this smells like a minty version of that, a very minty version of it. I definitely enjoyed the scent and I 1000% could feel it, okay? I'm glad they got that on the front because it's absolutely a feel it formula. Despite this being a deep conditioner, I felt the scalp tingle and everything that you would typically maybe feel with like a pepperminty shampoo. It was great. So let's talk about application. I know I briefly mentioned slip, glide, etc. But yes, I would definitely say that this is the type of conditioner, if you put a glob in your hand, it could fall down, so you gotta be mindful. I rubbed it in my hand and I applied it. The directions say to apply to wet hair, as I shared with you all before, but I decided to do a little test. So I did 2 sections with like wet application. And when I mean wet, I mean soaking wet, dripping with water. And then I did 2 applications, like 2 sections of my hair with like, it was wet, but I had squeezed a bit of the water out first. And I found that that application process worked a little bit better for me. And that if I needed a little extra water, I could just kind of run my hands under the water or like dip some in my water bowl and add some to the section. Very great. I do feel like the more I apply, the more slip and glide that I got. I'm somebody that does prioritize slip in my deep conditioners, and I feel like it was definitely good, but it doesn't top some of the other deep conditioners that I've experienced in the past on slip. So for example, some of the Curlsmith deep conditioners beat this out when it comes to slip, but that by no means disqualifies this conditioner. It was really good. Let's talk a little bit about the rinse out. I do feel like my hair was structured, not stiff. It had a really nice buoyancy to it. My hair looked like it had a little shine. It appeared very dark in color. It felt like there was some moisture to it, but it really did feel like it got some definition and some structure, like I said. I will say that it was minimal residue, so for those of you guys who prefer your deep conditioner to not leave too much behind, I definitely think that you'd be pleased with this. You feel like you deep conditioned in my experience, but I didn't feel like it was like something with heavier silicones, like a Dove mask or something like that. Now, into my final thoughts. I have to say I really enjoyed this deep conditioner. Yes, I would highly recommend. I think that it was perfectly balanced. It really did the job. It did the job. I definitely felt the hydration. I felt the strength. I felt the peppermint. I felt the rosemary. I felt the fillet, okay? And I would also say that when I use this up, I think I would like to purchase it again. I got it at my local beauty supply for I believe under $11, and that's a good value for me for 2 uses personally. The next thing that I would say is before I use this, I kind of like subconsciously categorized it with the Dove Bond Strength Mask and figured, okay, they're both kind of in that strengthening, fortifying category. But honestly, I would say maybe they're in the same category, but they definitely serve different purposes for me. I feel like they definitely evoke a different experience. So this one definitely, if I say definitely one more time, this one certainly, okay, switch it up, get a different adjective or something, okay? I don't even think that's an adjective. Whatever. This one is more of hydration, strengthening, balance with moisture. The Dove Strength, the Bond Strength for me felt like moisture strengthening, and because the Bond Strength has lots more silicone higher up in the ingredients list, it left that slick, slippery, smooth surface, okay, left on the hair, whereas this is super clean slate. So all in all, a great time. So now I'm gonna go away for a while and I'm gonna twist up this hair, get my chunky twist out loading with the products that you see on the screen. I'm very excited to go into this styling session with products that I know, no question marks needed. Hey y'all, voiceover Junie clocking in. I'm applying my African Pride Curl Smoothie to my small section you see here. In order for me to minimize manipulation and wear and tear on my strands, I decided to hold off on brush detangling until my product was completely applied. And this has been working out pretty well, especially because this product has really good slip and application onto my strands. Moving on to my next step, I decided to loosely twist my hair this time around and see if that would make any difference. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've just been experimenting quite a lot lately. I kind of feel like I just haven't been in a groove with all of the product fails and things like that. So I'm really just trying to find my mojo. And this is why I'm excited to be utilizing the same styler for longer periods of time. I really think that doing this conditioner series will allow me to still have fun in trying new products, but it really isn't gonna have as much weight on my final, result at the end of my wash day. Back-to-back fails is very defeating when, I'm somebody that really enjoys doing my hair. So yeah, I feel like trying to get back in my groove, trying to figure out how to manage the slightly different densities and texture, curl patterns that I'm experiencing, using the same couple products, maybe throwing a mousse in there here and there for my styling session. It's just easier on my mind. Here's the final look at my twists in a damp state. You can see that they're a bit more relaxed, a little fluffy. I'm just trying to see what works best for me in this season. But yeah, I felt like my hair felt really moisturized. A little bit of grease on the ends was a nice touch. So I was feeling good about where my wash day was headed. Now I'm going in with a bit of this OGX Bond Repair Spray just to make sure the girl is protected. And cue the bonnet dryer attachment, which has been my favorite little gadget over the last couple months. I typically sit under this for about 10-15 minutes if I know I'm going to stretch with the Rev Air the next day. But I'm thinking of taking a rest from the Rev Air just to give my strands a break from being stretched and, you know, let them have a little bit more elasticity, but we move. Speaking of the Rev Air, I did not let my hair dry enough, and you can see that it frizzed up a good amount in some spots. Also, you can see a little bit more clearly the differences in my curl pattern. I feel like because I did the looser, more messy style chunky twists, I really needed to let them dry all the way, and they were a little damp in the middle. So anyway, babes, let's wrap this video up. What's up, you guys? My hair is fully done and it's time to wrap up this video. I definitely enjoyed that strengthening mask from African Pride, and I do feel like my hair felt strengthened and had a little bit more structure throughout my wash day and my styling session. I even still feel some of the structure in my hair today. I found that my hair had a lot of definition with this cream that I've used several times before, and I do feel like the cream, like the smoothie, adds a little bit more spiral and definition to my curls, but I think with the conditioner it just like pushed it up a level. So yeah, y'all, this was a no stress wash day. I still am dealing with a little breakage and stuff like that from my month of calamity, but the girl is committed to using good deep conditioners, making sure my hair is getting the strengthening, the moisturizing, the bonding that it needs, and not going overboard when it comes to styling. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Conditioner Chronicles, and I will see you guys in the next one.